Darkness floated in space like a silent ocean. Tiny lights of faraway stars blinked, cold and far. In that endless night, a silver ship moved slowly near Earth's orbit. Inside the ship, alien officers watched blue and green Earth with curious eyes. Their screens showed mountains, seas, cities, but no deep power signatures. To them, Earth looked small and soft. Primitive. They spoke in soft clicks and whispers. No heavy weapons. No quantum cores. Their radio signals are weak, one officer said. They are not ready for the stars. Another officer's long fingers moved across glowing controls. Their technology is simple. Combustion. Nuclear fission. They are children, he said. Command will be pleased. Below them, on Earth, life went on. Humans drove cars, watched phones, sent satellites. No one looked up at the silver ship hidden behind shadow. No one knew they were being studied. Or so it seemed. Far below, under the ice of Antarctica, a door opened in silence. It was not a human base. It was older than any city, older than any war. From the dark ice tunnel, a bright light shone. Machines, smooth and black, woke up from a long sleep. Their cores hummed with energy not of this age. In a command chamber deep underground, a small group of humans stood in front of a giant sphere covered with ancient symbols. The sphere pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. A man with gray hair spoke quietly. They're here. The Watchers. Just like the last time. A younger woman beside him looked at the glowing sphere. Are we ready? She asked. Her hands shook a little. We have been ready for 1,000 years, the man said. His eyes reflected the sphere's light. We only needed a signal. Up above, the alien ship scanned the South Pole. Energy spike detected, one officer said. But no weapon signature. Probably a natural source, another replied. Ice movement. Magnetic field. They dismissed it. But inside the hidden chamber, humans placed their hands on the sphere. The ancient machine responded. Across the world, under deserts, in mountain caverns, in deep ocean trenches, hidden structures awakened. Lights blinked where none had blinked for centuries. The young woman whispered, if they think we are primitive, they will make a mistake. The man smiled faintly. They already have. The alien captain leaned closer to the viewing screen. He saw Earth cities, roads, oceans. All looked peaceful. Too peaceful. He frowned. Strange, he said. Their population numbers do not match their power output. Where is their true energy? Maybe hidden underground, an officer guessed. But primitive species cannot hide at this scale. The captain's eyes narrowed. Still, increase scans. Something feels wrong. Deep underground, an old voice spoke through the sphere. It was not human. It was older than any living memory. Children of Earth, it said in a tone like wind through stone. The stars are watching again. Shall we rise? The humans answered together. Yes. Machines shifted. Cold metal walls split open to reveal hidden hangars. Long ships, black as space, floated out of frozen vaults. Silent engines glowed. Above, the alien ship suddenly caught a new reading. A spike of power, huge and sharp. The captain jumped from his seat. What is that? Impossible, an officer said. Energy output equals our entire fleet. But it's coming from Earth. The captain stared at the blue planet. They were not primitive, he whispered. On the ground, in the secret base, the young woman looked at the old man. They're scanning us now. Let them, he said. It's time the stars remember. The alien ship's alarms screamed. Power levels on Earth rose higher and higher. Old satellites, disguised as junk, unfolded like metal flowers, revealing weapons of a design unknown to alien science. The captain barked orders. Shields up. Retreat to safe distance. But it was too late. A single beam of light shot up from the Antarctic ice, touching the alien ship like a finger of fire. Not to destroy, but to warn. The ship trembled, its systems flickering. In space, the captain's voice shook. They were hiding. For how long? No answer came. Only the blue planet below, silent and calm, like a sleeping giant opening one eye. The old man in the base spoke again. We asked for help once, long ago, he said quietly. No one came. We built our own strength. We hid it. Now they will see. The young woman's hands stopped shaking. She looked at the sphere. Are we going to fight? Not yet, the man said. First, we reveal the truth. The sphere pulsed brighter. Across the world, signals burst into space, coded and powerful, carrying a message in every known star language. Earth is awake. In orbit, the alien ship's crew stared at their screens. The captain whispered, Command must know. We misjudged them. We must warn the others. But before they could jump away, a shadow passed across their ship. Something large, something rising from Earth's atmosphere, cloaked but vast. The alien crew turned their heads slowly. Through the viewport they saw it, a ship older than their empire, black and silent, sliding up from the planet like a leviathan. Its hull carried scars from ancient wars. Symbols glowed faintly along its side. The captain's throat went dry. This cannot be. On Earth, the old man closed his eyes. It begins again, he said. And the stars, once calm, began to tremble. The alien ship drifted back, its hull shaking from the beam of light. Systems flickered. Warnings screamed in their strange language. For the first time in centuries, the crew felt fear. Earth had been a mystery, but now it was a threat. Inside the bridge, the captain's hands pressed against the control panel. Stabilize shields, he ordered. Sparks jumped from the ceiling. Prepare jump engines. His second officer trembled. Captain, something else is coming from the planet. Through the viewport, the shadow that had risen from Earth spread its wings of metal. It was not a satellite. It was not a weapon platform. It was a ship, huge, silent, black like the void. Lights glowed along its surface in patterns the aliens could not read. It moved without engines, like a ghost. What kind of craft is this? The captain whispered. How can a primitive world build this? No one answered. The crew only watched as the ship slid closer. It was old but perfect, like a blade hidden in stone. Below, in the hidden Antarctic chamber, the young woman and the old man stood before the sphere. The walls hummed. They've seen the first sentinel, the woman said softly. They were meant to, the man replied. Let them taste the edge. Around the world, more hidden places opened. In deserts, under oceans, inside mountains, ancient hangars unlocked. Dark shapes rose one by one, like giants stepping out of caves. Silent signals passed between them. They formed a pattern above Earth, invisible to normal eyes. On the alien bridge, new readings flooded the screens. Multiple energy sources, an officer cried. Hundreds. No, thousands. They're surrounding the planet, another said. We are in the middle of a net. The captain's jaw tightened. Send message to command. Tell them Earth is not what it seems. A pulse shot from the alien ship toward deep space, carrying their warning. But before it could leave the system, the black sentinel moved. With no visible weapon, it cut the signal mid-flight. The warning died in silence. The crew gasped. They blocked our transmission, one whispered. Impossible, another said. That requires power greater than our cores. The captain turned pale. We are trapped, he said. Deep below the ice, the sphere brightened. The old man placed his hand on it. They tried to call for help, he said. We cannot allow it yet. The young woman stared at him. Are we becoming like them? No, he said. We are only showing the truth. High above, the alien ship trembled as the black sentinel came closer. The captain activated the universal channel. This is Captain Velth of the Zyran Union. We came only to observe. We meant no harm. The sentinel stopped. For a moment, the stars seemed to hold their breath. Then a voice, deep and human, filled the alien bridge. You watched. You judged. Now you see. The crew froze. They understood the words. Perfect translation, no delay. Who speaks? The captain asked. I am Guardian One, the voice said. Keeper of Earth's silence. You will not leave until you understand. On Earth, the young woman listened to the same voice echo through the sphere. Guardian One is awake, she whispered. It speaks again. The old man nodded. We woke it because we had no choice. Above, Guardian One turned slowly, its massive hull blotting out starlight. Its surface shimmered as if space itself bent around it. The alien crew felt their bodies heavy, like gravity had grown stronger. What are you going to do with us? The captain asked. You will remain, the voice said. You will witness what you called primitive. The alien ship's engines flared, trying to break free. Space twisted. They did not move. The sentinel held them like a hand closing on a toy. Please, the captain said. We are explorers. Do not destroy us. The voice paused. Destruction is easy. Understanding is harder. Down below, the young woman asked the old man, what if they panic? What if they attack? They will not, he said. Not yet. Fear can teach faster than force. Another signal pulsed from Earth. Around the planet, hidden satellites unfolded and began to hum. A faint shield shimmered like a second atmosphere. The blue world now looked like an armored jewel. On the alien bridge, an officer whispered, They are sealing the system. We cannot escape. The captain closed his eyes. We have awakened an empire, he said. An empire older than ours. Guardian One's voice rolled again. You will watch. And when the others come, you will tell them, Earth is awake. The alien crew sat in silence, their instruments dead, their jump engines cold. Through the viewport, more black ships rose from the planet, forming a silent ring. On Earth, in the frozen chamber, the old man let out a slow breath. The first step is done, he said. The young woman looked at him. And the next. He turned his eyes to the sphere. The stars will come, he said. They always do. We must be ready. Far above, Guardian One shifted its great body. For the first time, a faint glow appeared along its hull. Not a weapon, but a mark, an old scar. A story written in metal. The alien captain stared at it and shuddered. They fought someone before, he whispered. And they survived. The stars outside flickered. In the silent dark, the ring of black ships held their position. Earth turned slowly below, calm and blue, hiding a strength the galaxy had forgotten. And in the alien ship's bridge, Captain Velth understood one truth. They had not discovered a primitive world. They had woken a sleeping giant. The alien ship hung silent in the dark, caught inside an invisible grip. Around it, black ships floated like silent wolves circling prey. The crew whispered, their voices thin with fear. They had traveled to hundreds of worlds, but never like this. Captain Velth stared at the viewport. Earth spun below, calm and blue, as if nothing was happening. But the sky above it was no longer empty. It was a trap of silent giants. Any response from command? He asked quietly. His second officer shook his head. No signal escapes. Our message died. Another officer's hands shook over the controls. We have never been this powerless, Captain. Velth breathed slowly. Then we wait. Deep under Antarctica, the sphere pulsed brighter. Its light reached the ceiling like pale fire. The old man stood close, his palm on the surface. They are frightened now, he said. The young woman looked at the glowing patterns. Will Guardian One harm them? No, the man said. It will show them. But the choice after that is theirs. She frowned. We are risking everything. What if they bring others? They will, he said. They always do. Above, on the alien bridge, a sound like a bell filled the air. Not mechanical, something else. It vibrated through their bones. The lights dimmed. Space outside bent, like ripples on water. Captain, an officer whispered. Something is arriving. Veltha's eyes widened. Beyond the ring of black ships, the stars shifted. A shape slid out of the dark, bigger than all the others. It did not shine. It swallowed light. Its edges were lost, as if it had no end. What is that? Velth whispered. The voice of Guardian 1 echoed in the bridge. That is the memory, Arkansas. It holds what you have forgotten. The alien crew watched as the giant shape moved closer. Symbols glowed faintly across its hull, older than their language, older than their history. It was like a drifting mountain. Inside the ark, countless eyes opened, not human, not alien, but something in between. Memories of battles, stars burned and rebuilt, secrets of lost ages. The ark had slept beneath Earth for millennia, waiting for a signal. On the ground, the young woman pressed both hands to the sphere. It is awake, she whispered. Yes, the old man said. The ark remembers everything. In space, the alien ship shook. The ark's presence pressed against their minds like a heavy hand. Visions flashed in their heads, cities of light under alien suns, fleets burning, the roar of dying worlds. An officer clutched his head. I see wars, he gasped. I see stars falling. Guardian One's voice rolled like thunder. You called us primitive. Look and learn. Images filled the alien bridge, Earth before ice, Earth before cities, Earth fighting invaders long ago. Huge ships rising from oceans, weapons of light tearing the sky. Humanity standing, broken and bloody, but unbowed. Velth gripped the railing, his heart hammering. They fought, your kind? No, the voice said. We fought those who came before your kind. We fought and we endured. We hid because we must. We waited because we chose. The visions faded. The alien crew stared at each other, pale and silent. Captain, one officer whispered. This planet is not a child. It is an elder. Velth swallowed hard. And we woke it. On Earth, the old man opened his eyes. They have seen enough, he said. The young woman's voice trembled. Then what happens now? Now, he said, we speak. Above, Guardian 1 addressed the alien ship. You have witnessed what was hidden. You will leave now. You will tell your kind that Earth is not to be measured by your scales. If you bring war, war will come back to you. Velth bowed his head. We understand. But another officer whispered. Do we? Command will not believe us. They will send more ships. They will want this power. Velth looked at him. Then we must convince them. Or the galaxy will burn. The ark drifted past the alien ship, its silent hull filling the viewport like a horizon. For a moment, the alien crew felt very small. Guardian 1's voice softened. Go. While we allow it. The invisible grip faded. The alien ship's engines flickered back to life. Velth gave a slow order. Jump us out. Mark this system forbidden. The jump drive hummed. Space folded. The ship vanished. Below, in the frozen chamber, the young woman let out a breath. They're gone. For now, the old man said. But the stars are curious. Curiosity brings teeth. She looked at him. We can't hide forever. No, he said. But we can prepare. Above, the ark turned its vast body and slipped back toward the planet. One by one, the black ships lowered again, returning to their hidden places. The sky cleared. To ordinary eyes, nothing had happened. Earth was just Earth again. But far across the galaxy, the Zyran Union's warning already began to spread. Many listened. Many doubted. And some began to plan. On Earth, the old man placed his hand on the sphere one last time. The age of silence is over, he said quietly. Soon the stars will knock at our door. And this time, we will answer. The young woman stared at the ceiling, at the faint tremor in the ice. Then the real test hasn't even begun, she whispered. And in the dark of space, a single satellite unfolded a hidden antenna, sending out a silent pulse, not a threat, but an invitation. Far across the stars, the Zyran Union's fleet base hung around a red sun. Dozens of ships glowed in orbit like silver insects. Inside the central command hall, a blue-skinned admiral stood before a huge screen. Captain Veltha's message flickered there, broken images of black ships, the Ark, and a single sentence: Earth is awake. Around the hall, voices rose in disbelief. Fabrication, one general snapped. That world has only chemical rockets. Another hissed. Yet his ship came back burned and empty. We lost 3 scouts. This is no trick. The admiral's eyes stayed on the frozen image of the Arkansas. Old shapes, he murmured. I have seen them in forbidden records. Records? Someone asked. From where? The admiral's voice turned low. From before our union existed. From the wars no one speaks of. Silence spread through the hall. Then Earth. Another began. The admiral nodded. Is a survivor. He turned to his aides. Send no more scouts. Send the diplomats. But keep the warships ready. If the planet hides this power, the Council will want it. Light years away, on Earth, the old man and the young woman stood again in the frozen chamber. The sphere had dimmed, but a faint pulse still beat within it, like a slow heart. They will come, she said. They always do, he answered. She touched the surface. Guardian One sleeps again? It watches, he said. It always watches. Above the planet, only a few of the black ships remained, cloaked and still. Most had sunk back under ice, sea, and stone. To the rest of the world, nothing unusual had happened. People went to work, sent messages, looked at their skies and saw only clouds and stars. But in hidden vaults, factories older than history stirred. Machines shaped metal with no fire, only light. Seeds of warships floated in dark pools, waiting for their day. Do we build more? The woman asked. We repair, the man said. We remember. But we do not strike first. Far beyond, the Zyran diplomatic ship Amberwave broke from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. Its hull shone gold. Its crew trembled, remembering the burned scout that had returned. We come in peace, their leader said, over and over. We come in peace. But they came with hidden weapons and silent drones, just in case. As the Amberwave moved inward, the space around it thickened. Instruments failed one by one. Outside, a single black sentinel appeared, gliding without sound. Identify, a calm voice spoke in their minds. The Zyran leader swallowed. We are the Union. We request dialogue with Earth. Your intent. Peace, the leader said. There was a pause. Then you may enter. But you will come alone. The sentinel drifted aside, opening a path toward the blue planet. The crew looked at each other, afraid. But their orders were clear. The Amberwave continued forward. On Earth, deep below the ice, the old man lifted his eyes. They're here. The young woman's voice trembled. Are we ready for words? Yes, he said. But be careful. Words are sharper than weapons. Hours later, the Zyran ship entered a low orbit. It saw no weapons, no shields, only clouds and oceans. But its sensors felt a net around them, unseen but strong. Where do we land? The pilot whispered. A voice answered in their heads. Follow the light. A single beam rose from Antarctica, white and thin. The ship turned toward it. Beneath the ice, doors opened again. A landing chamber unfolded like a metal flower. The Amberwave descended slowly, trembling. When its ramp dropped, cold air rushed inside. The Zyran leader stepped out, wrapped in a silver cloak. His eyes darted everywhere, searching for the humans he had only seen on weak broadcasts. Instead, the first figure to meet him was not Guardian One but the young woman. She wore simple clothes, her face pale but steady. "Welcome," she said in their language. The leader bowed slightly. "We come to speak." She studied him. "And to measure us." He did not deny it. "Your power is beyond what we believed." She led him down a long corridor of black stone. Strange symbols glowed on the walls. "You are not the first to say that," she replied. They entered the chamber where the sphere pulsed faintly. The old man waited there, hands behind his back. The Zyran leader stopped. "You are their commander?" The old man smiled faintly. "No. I am their memory." The leader stared at the sphere. "What are you?" "Survivors," the old man said simply. "Nothing more. Nothing less." Above them, unseen by either side, a small Zyran drone slipped from the ship, trying to send images back to the fleet. It darted into the tunnels like a silver insect. But before it could leave, a shadow passed over it. The drone froze, then fell apart soundlessly, its pieces turning to dust. The leader flinched. He had felt the loss through his link. The old man's eyes stayed on him. "Do not test us," he said quietly. For a moment, the chamber was silent, except for the slow pulse of the sphere. Finally the leader spoke again. "We came to avoid war. But my council will want your power." The old man nodded once. "Then tell your council this. Power is nothing without memory. War with us, and you will remember why your records are forbidden." The leader's breath shook. He saw in the old man's eyes not anger but deep, heavy patience. Outside, the sentinel ships circled, invisible but close. Above them, the stars shone cold. And somewhere far away, other powers began to stir, listening to whispers of an awakened Earth. The young woman looked at the alien leader and thought, "This is only the first visitor." And she was right. The alien leader left Earth with slow steps, his mind heavy. The sphere's glow had faded behind him, but its image stayed inside his eyes. When the amber wave lifted from the ice and rose back into orbit, no one stopped it. No weapon fired. But the silent black sentinels followed it until it left the atmosphere. Back on the Zyran flagship, his report played like a fire through the council. Some faces turned pale. Some narrowed their eyes. "They threatened you?" one counselor asked. "They showed us," the leader replied. "They warned us." "They're bluffing," another snapped. "No world hides that long. Their power is old, not new. Old power breaks." The leader shook his head. "I saw the Arkansas old, yes. But not broken. Sleeping." The hall erupted. Some wanted to strike at once, to send fleets and claim the hidden weapons. Others whispered caution, saying to leave Earth alone, to let it sleep. No one agreed. At the edge of the room, Admiral Reth watched quietly. He had fought in the last border war. He remembered how fast old weapons could turn new fleets to ash. When the voices grew too loud, he raised his hand. "Silence," he said. His voice carried weight. "This is not a backwater colony. This is an elder world. We must treat it as one." "Then what?" a counselor demanded. "Let them rise. Let them rule." Reth looked at the hollow of the blue planet. "We watch. We learn. And we prepare for what may come." Far away, on Earth, the old man and the young woman watched the alien ship vanish from their screens. "They will not stay silent," she said. "They will try," he answered. "But the stars are full of greedy hands. They will come with fleets," she whispered. "Yes," he said. "And others will come with questions. We must be ready for both." He placed his hand on the sphere. "Wake the outer beacons," he said. "Not weapons. Eyes." Across the solar system, small dark shapes unfolded from asteroids, moons, and dust clouds. They were not ships but silent watchers, older than human writing. Their thin sensors opened like petals. For the first time in centuries, the system was under its true guardianship again. High above Mars, one of the beacons caught a faint signal, a ship sliding through the dark, not Zyron, not known. It had no flag. Its hull was jagged, patched from many battles. It crept toward Earth's orbit like a thief. Another visitor, the young woman said as the data scrolled on the screen. The old man's eyes narrowed. Not a visitor. A scavenger. Someone heard the whisper and came first. The ship, the Black Nail, belonged to a band of star raiders who fed on war. They had heard the words, "Earth is awake," and smelled treasure. They did not believe in warnings. Inside the Black Nail, its captain grinned, showing rows of metal teeth. A hidden arsenal, an unclaimed hoard, he hissed to his crew. We take what we can before the Union gets here. Primitive or not, they will fall. His crew cheered softly. They did not know that above Earth the Sentinels were already moving. On the dark side of the moon, 3 black ships opened their hidden eyes. Their surfaces rippled. They did not fire. They simply shifted orbit, drifting like shadows toward the intruder. On Earth, the young woman watched the movement. They're intercepting. They must, the old man said. We cannot allow a test so soon. The Black Nail slid closer to Earth, engines low, weapons hot. Its captain grinned wider. No challenge yet, he muttered. They really are asleep. Then his sensors went black. Space around him thickened like syrup. Through the viewport he saw nothing, only darkness. A voice spoke in his mind. Leave, it said. This is not for you. The captain snarled. I take what I want. The darkness deepened. His ship systems failed one by one. Metal groaned like a dying beast. In the black, shapes moved, 3 giants with glowing edges. His crew began to scream. On Earth, the young woman turned away from the screen. They won't leave, she said quietly. No, the old man said. Then they will be taught. In orbit, the Black Nail vanished without fire, without explosion. One moment it was there, the next it was gone, as if the void had swallowed it whole. Only a faint whisper of dust remained, drifting in silence. The Sentinels returned to their places. Space cleared. To ordinary eyes, nothing had happened. The young woman looked back at the old man. What did they do? Nothing permanent, he said. The ship is elsewhere. A place where it will learn. And when it returns, if it returns, it will remember. She shivered. How many times have we done this? Enough, he said softly. But not enough to stop the stars from trying. Far across the galaxy, rumors spread faster than light. The Zyron Union's warning. The disappearance of the Black Nail. The legends of the Arkansas. Some called Earth cursed. Some called it a prize. Some called it a sleeping god. In hidden rooms and deep war councils, leaders whispered. Plans began. Fleets stirred. On Earth, the sphere pulsed again, slow and steady. The old man closed his eyes. The test has begun, he said. And it will not end soon. The young woman touched the cold floor. We're not ready. No one ever is, he said. But we are awake. Above them, unseen, the Sentinels drifted like dark birds over a calm sea, waiting for the next wave. Across the galaxy, the whisper of Earth's awakening spread like fire in dry grass. On distant worlds, old records were pulled from locked vaults. Names long forgotten were spoken again. Guardians, Ark, Last War. In the Zyron Union's grand chamber, rows of holograms flickered as delegates argued. Some shouted for war, some for peace, some for secrets. They destroyed the Black Nail, one said. A pirate ship. But next it could be ours. They spared our envoy, another answered. That is not the act of a conqueror. They have power we cannot measure, a third hissed. Power hidden under ice while we built fleets. If we wait, they will rise above us all. Admiral Reth stood silent at the edge of the hall. He had seen the images, read the old texts. He knew what the scars on the Ark meant. When the shouting paused, he spoke. War with Earth now would not be a war, he said. It would be a lesson. A hard one. Then what do you suggest? A counselor demanded. Reth's eyes stayed on the blue planet's image. Speak to them. Trade with them. Learn. Because if we cannot be their enemy, we must be their student. Far away, other powers made different choices. The Kar Dominion, a loose empire of warlords, sent a fleet of surveyors into deep space, its holds packed with boarding craft. They had heard of the Ark and dreamed of capturing it. On Earth, deep under the ice, the sphere pulsed with steady light. The young woman watched data scroll across the walls. They're moving, she said. Multiple groups. Not just the Union. The old man nodded. I told you. Curiosity brings teeth. She bit her lip. Guardian 1 cannot hold the galaxy alone. No, he said. It is only a gate. We are the ones who must stand. Above the planet, silent black ships shifted slightly in orbit. Their movements were slow, patient. They were not built to rush. They were built to endure. On the far edge of the solar system, a car scout crossed an invisible line. Its sensors went dark. For 3 minutes it drifted, blind, before power returned. When its systems came back, its course had been changed, turned away from Earth, pointed back into deep space. Its captain whispered a curse and did not try again. In the hidden chamber, the young woman pressed her hands on the sphere. We're just one world. They're many. The old man's voice was calm. But we are not just one world. We are every age we have survived. We are every war we have endured. We have fought under 1,000 skies. They have only read stories. She stared at him. We can't hide forever. He nodded slowly. Then we won't. At that moment, in a faraway star system, a new council gathered, not of one species but of many. Their faces were different, but their fear was the same. They had built an alliance to stop Earth before it could rise. They have slept, one said. But now they stir. If they gain allies, it is too late. They cannot fight us all, another said. If we strike now, we can break them. No, a third murmured. You did not see what I saw. Their Ark carries scars from weapons our ancestors could not build. If we strike now, we wake not a child but a soldier. But the warlords did not listen. Ships began to move. Dark fleets lit their engines, silent and cold. On Earth, the sphere brightened suddenly. The young woman felt the change in the air. What is it? They are coming, the old man said. Not to talk. To test. Above, Guardian 1's eyes opened again. The black ships in orbit slid into a new pattern, forming a slow-turning ring. Beyond the moon, hidden stations came alive, their thin towers glowing. We cannot meet them with only threats, the young woman said. We have to speak. Yes, the old man said. But not with words they will ignore. He placed both hands on the sphere. Across the solar system, a deep pulse went out, a signal not of warning but of choice. Old allies, forgotten and silent, began to stir in their own hidden places. Light years away, a small human-built probe on a barren world cracked open. Inside, a tiny beacon woke and sent a single message into the dark: return. On a distant colony long abandoned, an old ship, covered in dust, powered up. In its core burned an engine Earth had built before it went silent. Its course changed. It began to come home. In the Council of Warlords, their sensors picked up strange movements across dozens of systems, faint but real. What is this? One demanded. Are they calling an army? They were never alone, another whispered. Back under the ice, the young woman's voice trembled. How many did we leave out there? Enough, the old man said. Enough to show the stars that memory has weight. Above Earth, the sentinel ships glowed faintly for the first time, their hulls marked with the symbols of old wars. In the black sky, something stirred beyond sight, older than even the Ark. The young woman looked up at the trembling ceiling of the chamber. "This is only the beginning," she whispered. "Yes," the old man said. "And the galaxy has begun to choose." Dark space above Earth rippled like water before a storm. Ships poured in from far stars, long, sharp, glittering like knives. They came from the Zyran Union, the Kar Dominion, and dozens of smaller powers. They came to test, to threaten, to take. Their leaders whispered of victory. Their crews whispered of legends. Inside one of the command ships, a warlord stared at the blue world. "Primitive or not," he said, "everything breaks." But as the fleets formed their lines, something moved below. Earth spun in silence, but the sky above it changed. From the dark side of the moon, a soft glow began to spread. One by one, the black sentinels rose, no longer cloaked. They moved slowly, like statues come to life, forming a circle so vast it swallowed the horizon. On Earth, in the frozen chamber, the young woman and the old man stood before the sphere. Its pulse was fast now, like a racing heart. "They've come," she whispered. "Yes," he said. "Now they will see everything." He placed his hand on the sphere. Around the planet, hidden shields unfolded like petals, wrapping Earth in a shimmering veil. On the surface, cities went dark for a moment as ancient systems woke beneath them. In orbit, the warlord's ship sensors lit up with warnings. "Unknown structures," his officer cried. "Energy readings off the scale." The warlord laughed harshly. "Old tricks. Fire on the nearest one." A beam of light lanced out from his ship. It hit the nearest sentinel, and vanished, swallowed like water into sand. The sentinel did not even tremble. Then the arc rose. It came from the ocean this time, not from ice. A mountain of black metal, taller than clouds, rising slow, unstoppable. Water streamed off its sides in great rivers. Symbols glowed along its hull, burning like cold fire. Every screen on every ship in orbit went white. A voice filled the void. "You came with teeth. Now you see the hand that forged them." The voice was not loud but deep, rolling through hulls and minds. Crews froze. Some began to tremble. Guardian 1 and the Ark moved together, side by side, rising into the black sky. Around them, the sentinel ships aligned, their lights forming a pattern like a star map. Inside the warlord's ship, an officer whispered, "It's not a fleet. It's a memory." Another voice joined the first, softer but sharper. It was the young woman's voice, carried through the sphere to every ship. "This is Earth," she said. "We asked for help once. No one came. We built. We hid. We endured. We are not your enemy, unless you make us one." On the bridge of a Zyran flagship, Admiral Reth listened. He thought of the old records. He thought of the scars. Then he spoke, his voice steady. "All ships hold fire." But the Kar warlord ignored him. "Attack!" he screamed. "Before they strike." Dozens of Kar ships lit their weapons and fired. Light and fire filled the sky. The sentinels moved. No beams, no explosions. They simply shifted, and the attacks vanished like sparks in rain. The Kar ships' weapons went dead. Their engines cooled. One by one, their systems shut down. Their hulls drifted powerless. A final pulse went out from the Arkansas. It was not heat, not light, but something older. It passed through every ship in the sky. Crews saw images, a world burning, humans standing, endless wars, survival through silence. They felt the weight of ages press on their hearts. When the vision faded, the Kar warlord fell to his knees. "Stop," he whispered. "Stop. We cannot fight this." The young woman's voice filled the silence. "You can leave. You can speak. You can warn. But you will not take." Admiral Reth bowed his head. "Earth," he said into the open channel. "We hear you. We will leave." Across the sky, Engines flickered to life again, but pointing outward now. One by one, ships turned away. Some limped. Some fled. Some sat silent, their crews too shaken to move. The Ark and Guardian 1 lowered slightly, their lights dimming. The shield around Earth faded like mist. In the frozen chamber, the young woman let out a slow breath. "It's over. For now," the old man said. His eyes stayed on the sphere. "But now they know. And knowing will change everything." She sat down, exhausted. "We could have destroyed them," she whispered. "Yes," he said. "But then we become them." Above, the sky cleared. Only a few silent sentinels remained, drifting. The Ark turned slowly back toward the ocean, sliding beneath the waves without a sound. Far across the galaxy, in councils and war rooms, leaders whispered new plans. Some spoke of treaties. Some spoke of revenge. Some began to dream of alliances with the sleeping giant. On Earth, the old man placed both hands on the sphere one last time. "We are awake," he said quietly. "And the stars have heard." The young woman looked up at him. "What now?" He smiled faintly. "Now we stop hiding. Now we build, not in secret but in daylight. Now we choose what kind of power we will be." Outside, dawn broke across the ice. The sky above the pole was clear and blue. To ordinary eyes, it was just another day. But high above, unseen by the world below, a single sentinel remained, its hull dark, its eyes open, watching the stars for the next visitor. And in the deep, the Ark slept again, patient as stone.